Okay, the first thing I want to show you is just how to start a project. Once you've got Revit open, you simply go to the projects directory here. We're going to say new for new project. It'll ask us what kind of project template we want to use. Construction template is the default, however that's not what we're looking for, so I'm going to browse. I'll look for residential default, and in this class it's really important that we use this one every time. Depending on what kind of project or what kind of building you're modeling, you might be interested in some of these other templates, but for this class it's always going to be residential, and it does make a big difference. So I select residential default. I'm going to say open. That shows up in the template file box. I'll say OK, and this brings us to our work environment. Okay, the main reason why it's so crucial and so important that you use the right template is because it'll affect what kind of tools are available to you. When I click over here on the wall command, for example, and now I'm going to go to properties, the type selector, or better yet, what's available to me under the type selector is dependent upon the template that I've chosen. So one more time, residential default. Now I just want to point out a couple of things here. We talked before about using both the properties dialog box and the project browser. Okay, the way that I have them set up is that I've got two tabs, one over the top of the other, and depending on which one I click on, it'll toggle between the two. Now if it's not set up that way for you, you might want to consider some other options. If you've got two screens, then they can be side by side, and you'll want to drag them to the adjacent screen, not like mine where they overlap my working environment. If they have to overlap the work environment, that's okay. Simply take them by this little menu bar on the top, drag them over the top of each other, and you might have to try this a few times until eventually you'll see the two tabs like this. And actually that works a lot easier if you maximize the screen. Okay, if neither one of them is docked to begin with, that's where it gets a little more complicated. Okay, if this is the case, I'm going to grab the first one, pull it over here to the left hand side until you kind of see it snap into place. Then I'll grab the second one and put it right over the top. There are my two tabs, and the last thing that I want to show you here is that occasionally one of these will get turned off. Okay, either by accident, or suppose that you click on the black X right here. So in this case the project browser is no longer available to me. In that case I'm going to go to the View tab. Over on the right hand side I have User Interface. Click on the drop down and find whatever it is that's missing. Now some of these we haven't even talked about yet, and for right now you shouldn't even need them. However, Properties is active and I need that one. Project Browser is not active. I'll click on that. That brings it back.